You know, besides Xena Warrior Princess, Ellen Ripley and Trinity from The Matrix, I have 4 more aces up my sleeve to treat the bitter disappointment that escalates with every modern take on what's supposed to be strong female characters. Hey, I'm Robin, I love history, but I'm bad at watching movies, so here we talk about historical film and TV. And when I said aces, I didn't mean actual aces up my sleeve. That would be scandalous. What I meant is 4 fiery ladies, courtesy of 2005 Casanova, that can easily make their poorly written, two-dimensional and boring modern counterparts cry out of jealousy. Set in 18th century Venice, the film obviously should not be taken too seriously because it's just a fun, provocative rom that is covering only a tiny fracture in the life of a man, often known for his quite complicated affairs with women. Unfortunately, it is often omitted that he was also a violinist, a diplomat, an alchemist, an adventurer, a gambler, a scam artist, a church cleric, fought duels, was associated with Freemasonry, and also wrote autobiography that is still regarded as the most authentic source of information when it comes to European social norms and customs of that time. I personally eat more lives than a cat to achieve that. So what's up with those aces? Well, restless and creative ace of clubs kicks off Casanova's journey as his mother, played by Helen McCrory. She basically leaves the young boy with his grandmother to go on a hell of a long tour with the theater. Insensitive? Sure. Strong, empowered, independent? Also yes, but written in such a way that her character actually gets an arc of redemption, doesn't come off as dull, cold and unlikable thanks to Helen McCrory's performance and motherly quality that later she used to the fullest in the show Peaky Blinders. Who do you think is flirtatious, magnetic and impatient ace of hearts? Of course it's Natalie Dormer as Victoria. Initially fangirling over the rock star status of Casanova, she is not your typical happy-go-lucky blonde. There is fire, there is passion, there is an agenda. If she wants it, she gets it. Even her virginity is promised back by the church, eager to bust
Casanova.
Definitely strong, well-written character, maybe not so independent, but thoughtful and sensitive, not the one you throw off the gondola for being insufferable. You guessed the word. Moving on, Ace of Diamonds, my personal favorite, in the likes of Andrea Bruni, played by Lena Olin. What a delight to watch. A resourceful, ambitious, energetic and playful persona who also carries on her shoulders all the weight of the single mother about to be bankrupt. It is almost impossible for anyone who pushes their child to arranged marriage not to come off as egoistic, insensitive and bitter, but the writers and Lena Olin's effortless and confident performance achieves just that. She's always likable, elegant and actually pretty funny. And her flirts can sweeten the strongest espresso I've ever had, and I've lived in Italy. Casanova's motto, be the flame, not the moss, has no chance of squaring against the ruler of the deck, aka in the film Francesca Bruni. Sienna Miller does the honors to bring this engaged in the world, physically active, selfless workaholic to life that actually has a chance to sculpt yet a decent man out of our libertine. Rebelling against arranged marriage, writing illegal feminist books, arguing for women's rights. The lady actually can stand up for herself, as she even tells the Jeremy Irons off. No one tells Jeremy Irons off unless you Bruce Willis in Die Hard 3, right? Not your typical girl boss, but well-spoken, educated and naturally charismatic, strong female character that doesn't need to yell at every corner.
There's a tempest in me!
Around her, Casanova is a smitten kitten who eventually lies himself into the corner, and yet she still helps the man when he's in trouble. Fun fact, at the age of 30, the real Casanova was arrested by the Venice tribunal primarily for the public outrages against the holy religion. He was sentenced to 5 years in the leads. The cell was nicknamed so because it had a low ceiling and the lead plates covering the roof. He was finally moved to a bigger cell after 13 months, but he was heartbroken because he almost finished digging through the wooden floor under his bed. He eventually escaped with his new cellmate, the priest, after convincing him that the angel wants him to do so. Sounds familiar? Count of Monte Cristo, anyone? Of course, there's a plethora of tasty male characters, all different and deserving of praise in the way they're handled, but at a closer look, at least to me, none of them really takes the center stage unless paired with their female scene partners. Well, maybe except one extreme beauty spa scene, which is satire at its best. And Heath Ledger's carefree and light portrayal of Casanova definitely lifts up the film to where it needs to be. But without its aces, the story would be stripped of what makes it wild and fun, unpredictable dance of confusion, kind of like a great Shakespearean comedy. Okay, let's face it, all these shenanigans on my part are just to recommend
Casanova.
But that's a prism through which I see it these days. It's a true Venetian relic that is rarely remembered and is slowly sinking into the depths just as a beloved city it features. Throw in the comment below if you see what I see or you completely disagree. Anything goes. Super quick fact, according to his friend, Casanova's last words were, "I've lived as a philosopher and die as a Christian." Now that's a very healthy self-reflection, especially for someone who had such a long, wild and scandalous life. I think we all should cultivate self-love so we can give more of it. So thank you so much for sticking around, and I'll see you in the next one.